What were you thinking when you were watching Giancarlo Stanton hit home run after home run? What was your perspective as his manager watching him do that in the home run derby?
Honestly, it was a pretty good show, and watching him do that, because most of the time in batting practice, he's really trying to hit line drives, and he kind of uses the whole field and works on his swing. And he'd been hot going into the break, and watching him take basically BP, but like actually trying to hit homers, it was really fun to watch, and I thought he put on a great show.
But there was none of you as his manager thinking, okay, do you need to hit 24, Giancarlo? Do you need to do that? Like, can we just pull back a little bit on the gas pedal to make sure that something untoward doesn't happen to a rib cage or something like that?
Not really, because I thought him trying to just kind of get everything into it was going to be good for his swing, because sometimes he'll get where he's just trying to be too short. And it seems like when you get that many swings, he just got into a rhythm and actually trying to hit the ball a long way. And it was I thought it was going to be good for his swing.
Would you have taken part in this if there was the home run derby going down?
Nobody wants to see guys just scrape one over the top
now,
of the fence.
Hold on a minute, Don. There was a time where you had one home run after another consecutive games, Don. Grand slams. You were in a groove.
I'm saying 8 fence scrapers. 8 fence scrapers.
Were they all fence scrapers? Were they?
No, I hit a couple of them pretty good, but in general, I think people really want to see the Trumbos and Giancarlos of the world hit the ball a long way, and I basically first row.
What if Jose Fernandez had come to you in the same way that Arrieta probably knocked on Madden's door, or Bochy heard from Bumgarner? What if he said, "I want to start taking my home run hacks"? What would you have said?
I wouldn't have wanted him to, and he did come. Trust me, he's the one that was like, "Hey man, I would love to be in that. I could do that." He's a fun kid to be around. He thinks he can do anything. He ends up getting a hit against Atlanta for us to help win a game not too long ago. But he was definitely one of those guys when that talk was up about the pitchers. He was wanting in.
He knocked on your door? He said, "I want in"?
Oh, he didn't knock on the door. It was right there out in the open. As soon as he seen me, it was like, hey, I can do that. I could do that. If that happens, I want to be in too.
And?
Yeah, it is definitely an and.
That was the end of the conversation. Who was the best?
It didn't go any further. I was glad that that the pitchers weren't going any further, but I was like, hey, Come on.
Who's the best home run hitter you've ever been around, Don?
As far as just pure home runs, you kind of have to. Giancarlo's one of those guys, but I have been around, watching A-Rod. He obviously, in the stretch being the hitting coach there in New York, was a guy that was pretty special as far as hitting the home run and pretty consistent with it. So I'd have to kind of say those two guys. Giancarlo, I felt like he had like a rough first half, and all of a sudden you look up and he's got 20. And I'm like, dang, this guy puts them up quick. And so he's going to be one of those guys, if he ever stays on a roll and stays consistent throughout the course of the season, he could hit 50, 60 fairly easily.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.